get started.
I know it is hard to believe, but it's almost time to put 2022 in the rear view and start looking ahead to 2023. So we've gathered a group of our marketing experts to look ahead and make 2023 predictions. I'm joined today by Michael Neumann, who's our Director of Digital Media at MHP TMSI, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's to come in the new year. Thanks for joining us, Michael.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Awesome. So before we look ahead to 2023, let's take a step back and look at 2022. Was there anything that really stood out to you as far as trends or new developments in the world of digital media in 2022?
Sure. We've been talking for years now about, cookieless marketing and how that's coming for us. It was announced early in 2022 that Google's going to push back their deprecation of it in Chrome to 2024 at the latest. So that was something we were prepared for, and then it kind of disappeared. The announcement of sunsetting of Universal Analytics for GA4 kind of took a lot of us by, maybe not by surprise, but a shock at least to the system. And then obviously the continued rise of some like big social platforms like TikTok and sort of the waning of maybe Facebook and others.
Yeah. A lot of those things kind of point towards a big push for consumer privacy.
Yeah, ever since the rollout of like CCPA and GDPR in the EU, consumer privacy has become a bigger and bigger push. I think the signals that you get from consumers really want that privacy. They really want to be able to know their data isn't just floating around out there. But at the same time, it's key information that marketers like us have relied on for ever since digital media became something to sell. Mm-hmm. That information has been stuff that digital marketers have relied on to do targeting and place ads ever since digital media became a thing, basically.
Yeah. So, we have a bit of time to think about how we're going to deal with a cookieless future. Do we have any ideas yet, or is it just kind of we're looking?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can approach it. There's the first party data, which is awesome if you've got it. CRM data, past consumers. Your past consumers are almost always your best future consumers. But beyond that, there's been a lot of presented ideas, but nothing's really kind of hit.
Right.
Nothing has really fallen right in the space needed to accommodate, both the privacy concerns and the targeting concerns.
Mm-hmm. The interesting thing about privacy, and you mentioned that consumers want privacy, which is true. We all want to be private and not share too much of our information. But at the same time, consumers indicate that they want personalized advertising.
Yeah, it's a conundrum because I'm pretty sure if you ask the same consumer in the same survey, do you want more privacy in your ads? The answer would be yes. Do you want more personalized ads? Yes. You want to be served ads that are relevant to your interests, but you also don't want people to know what your interests are, and that's a very tough thing. Consumers, once again, I think don't really fully understand how much we need that data to make those decisions. Mm-hmm. It's not quite as simple as buying the sports pages to target your adult men 18 to 45, but it's just a little bit just one step above that basically. I don't need to know how old your kids are, but it would be nice to know that you have kids.
Right.
I'm trying to sell you on something that kids need.
So we have some data, but we've always been careful to never collect or keep personally identifiable data.
Yeah, for sure. That information is housed by the platforms. You can't just download that, and that's important. We don't need that data. I just need to be able to say, this group, this cohort of people, would be good targets for these ads. And cohorts are one of the things they've talked about. One of the solutions. But in addition to that, Google has a privacy sandbox they've been pitching, although I think that's been abandoned. There's just a whole bunch of solutions out there that nothing has kind of filled the void yet.
So one solution I've heard about to cookieless marketing is lookalike audiences. But I understand that some platforms are trying to make that even a little bit more private.
Yeah, so particularly on housing, employment, and credit opportunity ads, on Facebook especially, they've completely restricted the ability to use lookalikes or even similar ad audiences. And that's kind of been something we've had to continue with as well. That's as a result of a settlement that they reached with the federal government regarding some of the targeting issues that they've been sort of fighting with for the past, I don't know, how long's Facebook been around?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, lookalikes can be super powerful. I mean, obviously, in order for it to work, you've got to have good data about your current customers. And then from there, the data that you provide is only as useful as the platform you're putting it in. So if you've got a platform that doesn't have great targeting and doesn't have great reach, no matter what kind of data you give it in the end, it's not going to do much better.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Is there anything else you think that's coming up within the next year within the world of digital media that you think people should know about?
No, I think just keep an eye on privacy issues.
Yeah.
Understand that if you're not paying for a platform, you are the product. But also understand that most marketers, I'd say the vast majority, the overwhelming majority, are not malicious in their thing. They want to sell you their widgets, and they're not trying to be disingenuous about it. They think they've got a good product, and they think you should be interested in it.
Awesome. Cool. Well, we'll gather back in a year in 2023 and talk about our predictions. I remember 2021, you wrote an article about TikTok, and I think you were right on that one. So we'll see about this next year how well your predictions on privacy play out.
Yeah, no, when I wrote that article, I personally had just got on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I was enamored. But obviously, that it can only grow so fast. So.
Right. Well, it's kind of changing the world of marketing in general. So Awesome. So thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having
me. Really
me.
appreciate it. And thank you for joining us online. If you want to check out more of our content, the rest of our 2023 marketing predictions, or learn more about the world of marketing throughout the next year, you can do that at mhpteamsi.com. Thanks and have a great day.
Here we go.